feel like you were like somewhat of a historian before you got into that? Or was it when you started doing the deep dives, doing all the research, event by event, year by year, going through all these observers, et cetera, that you feel like you picked that knowledge up? Or did you already have that? Was that something you can kind of lay claim to early on?
I wasn't then, and I'm not now a historian. I'm just a fan. And I know that sounds cliche, but I mean, the reality is I have access to the same things
Yeah,
everybody else does. You know, I mean,
I get it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
read a lot of wrestling books. I watch a lot of shoot interviews. I subscribe to the Observer. I subscribe to the Torch. I read Mike Johnson stuff and Sean Ross Sapp. So I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm just willing to put in the time to copy paste it all together and then format it. So every show I've done, I don't know, since maybe the 5th or 6th, whenever the Vader and Pillman shows were, I've got tons of notes for every single show before we click record. I mean, in
Yeah.
some cases, I'd have 70 pages. We just did Jim Ross yesterday morning. I had 14 pages. I hope to do Bruce Prichard later tonight. I've got 17 pages. I'm ready. So I'm researched. I'm organized. I've got my notes. And I think that's really one of the other differences in our show is the real work, and you know this, happens before you click record.
For
Once
sure.
you click record, now you're just having fun. But it's the research and the formatting and the promotion that's really going to make your show successful. And none of that involves actually talking into a microphone.
Yeah, working with a guy like JR, which I know he's a notes guy, and does a lot of prep. He has to appreciate that. That has to be something that him, just knowing who he is and how he operates, he has to appreciate all the notes you put in to a show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody I work with looks forward to getting the notes, and it works to sort of jog their memory. And if I'm just hitting them cold, and sometimes they do enjoy that. Like if we're watching a show, Eric Bischoff won't want to look at the note, won't have his own opinion, and not necessarily be influenced. And I like that. But if it's a bio show, then he needs the notes and he wants to dig into it and sort of jog his memory, and then he'll make his own notes. So we do it all through Google Docs. So if they want to log in and make their own notes, they can. Not everybody does that, but occasionally they will. And that's been a formula that works for us.
If you're watching the network, what's your go-to? So for me, I'm the late WCW. I always go back to those Nitros or those Thunders when it was a hot mess and there were so many different characters and a lot of that didn't really pan out that well. But I love watching those episodes. What's your go-to when you turn on the network?
Well, it used to be like 1989 to 1992 and then 96, 97. But recently I've fallen in love with 86. So 86, 89, 90, 91, and 97. Those are my go-tos.
Okay.
From WCW or the WWF.
And who, so